everybody, it's me for 11, and I am here with my next broadcast partner is Boomer. And that's right, fellas, this is game number 2 of the NBA Conference Semifinals of the NBA Playoffs. This next matchup, we are heading to get things on a start for game number 2 in Eastern Conference. The Knicks and the Celtics rematch things again, and they're back at the TD Garden Arena. Here are the next broadcast partners that I do have the next one to take. This time, it's Terry Crews along with Clover, and Silver Spoon is the other side of it to take in for its next one. And David Aldridge will be the sideline reporter for tonight's game. It is a sudden great start for the Boston Celtics. They win their first game 1-0, and we'll see what happens if there is another win. Will the Knicks tie the series, or will the Boston Celtics win 2-0 over New York? Let's see how this one changes off. And here we go, we're on its way down to Boston. Knicks, Celtics, next on 2K Sports. 2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA Playoffs. It's one of our big nights in. The rematch between the Celtics and Knicks. Tip-off is next. Greetings, everyone. We are here at TD Garden Arena. The rematch between the Celtics and the Knicks. I'm broadcast partner along with Clover and, of course, Silver Spoon. I'm Terry Crews, and this is one of our biggest games, and we are ready for Game 2 in Boston. Here are the starting groups as we have is Cross is Drew Holiday on Jalen Brunson. Miguel Bridges is with Derek White. Then it's Brown on Anunoby. Hart is around Jason Tatum. And then center guard KB against the Cat of Karl Anthony Towns. It's game time. Game 2 about to begin now. Both teams are wearing a city jersey additions to make that one feel more appealing. Let's see what we've got. Brunson starts it off right toward the wing as he gives it up to Josh Hart. Hart works his way across to Miguel Bridges as he'll bounce past to Brunson. Brunson for the try. This one misses, and it's rebounded by Jason Tatum. Tatum starting with the floater, he makes it in. That'll be the first 2-pointer for Jason Tatum. The big drive happens to be with Jason Tatum. He makes it more appealing than he does it to meet the eye. He really might get given a great start off for Boston Celtics. Reporter for David Aldridge saying from Karl Anthony Towns, after playing it off with the Minnesota Wolves, he makes his way to New York to make the play against the New York Knicks. He was saying it earlier before, and he wasn't able to make that one make it much easier than he does for anything. What he said to now was that he really has to make that one feel good to play with the New York team.
Well, they definitely do. Karl Anthony Towns is really like one of the best players in the NBA history. By his league, he played with the Timberwolves every season. And then until now, he wanted to give it all when he can. Let's see what he does.
First foul given by Derek White. That'll be his first personal and their first team foul for Boston Celtics.
You know, I never really noticed about Jalen Brunson. He has to finish up with the ball. The better effort that he does, will make this in more piercing. That first layup, that happens with Jalen Brunson, but he gets everything.
Now that free throw is going to give a good start out for Jalen Brunson. Let's hope that he does make the point. Free throw coming up for New York Knicks as Jalen Brunson's at the free throw line shooting two. Brunson knocks the first free throw. Now I'm saying this before that Jalen Brunson is really the big star to make that chain operate. And up and running, he really wanted it all.
I know what they're saying. I know what they can definitely hear for. But let's say this. Jalen Brunson was never seen like this. After playing with the Dallas Mavericks, now he's looking to make his next career to play with the New York Knicks. He's got a better start to make it in there. Let's hope that he does have it all.
Tatum finds Holiday. Holiday for two. That one drops it in. Number 2 2-pointer for the Celtics. Jason Tatum with the assist. This is really like a back changing like afterward. They won't see it like they do. OG Anunoby has to get to Brunson. Here's Hart for 3. That's good. Makes it from outside range downtown as they got the lead up for 3. Hart's got his first 3-pointer of the night. Here's Derek White. Again, Brown for 3. The answer back will make it in. Jaylen Brown makes a 3-pointer. Now a tie game.
See that? I never knew that Jaylen Brown made that 3. He really dug it off.
Here's Hart. Finish off. Got a good 2-pointer in for Josh Hart. He's got 5. And it's now a 9-7 game. Jason Tatum against Hart. He's right toward the middle with the jump drive. He never gets that one out of the way with his rejection. And Brunson will have the ball the other way. Again to Hart. Hart rolls again to Bridges. Bridges trying to look for a sloppy motion. Again to Crab. Cat for 2. He'll get the 2-pointer in there as it'll be his Cat's first bucket on a second. 4 points in the game for Karl Anthony Towns.
What I never expected before about Karl Anthony Towns, he just really has to give up 2-point opportunity. Tough it over the hedge, he wasn't sure how he's going to handle it.
Cat for the step back. No good. A rebound by Brown. And here's Tatum. Tatum. Pass out to KP. The drive is good. Timeout for New York with only 4:44 remaining in the first quarter. Well, that happened with that. Looks like that Karl Anthony Towns may not be able to start that optimally. Until with this, you really have to get that one coming back in. And to say about before, the defending champion was knocked down by the New York Knicks in game number 6. They were up and hurried. Much to the pacing game, it was tightness, but they couldn't finish it up just the right amount of effort.
Yeah, I know what you're saying now, Terry, and I know what happens to Jason Tatum. 5 of the people didn't really know. I'm telling you this why. Because Jason Tatum, he's like legend, a superstar. He really has shown off. And I gotta say, whatever you do for him, it's not really what the biggest flags in this offense is. He really wants to roll it off the world, and he definitely got it on it. He couldn't play it like he did for real. Unless otherwise, he won't change it on the median game of this offense. He's really showing it off when he can play for it. But smart being, it's just the way that he does it.
I can see that now. It looks like Jason Tatum might give it all when he can. New group substitutions on the court. And that's what makes a new change in offense and defense. Here the Knicks on the stats for the points off the toss. 19.4 as they're right behind the Golden State Warriors with 19.7. They are in 3rd place. 3rd place won't be the matter to do for the tossing motion. Points off can be challenging. What I don't really stand is, what's the toss-up mean? They may never know. Try, big hit for Hart. That'll be 7 points in the game. 4:30 remaining in the first.
Oh, he just kept on coming back after Josh Hart wasn't there to stop.
That ball is tipped, and the last touch is on Brunson. That'll be Celtics ball with only 4:22 remaining. So here's a set for Tatum. And here's White on a slam. It'll be a drive and foul on Karl Anthony Towns with his first personal foul. And the first team foul will be on New York Knicks. Stop the play at 4:18. Nothing says Derek White was making a drive in the middle, but this one was ripped off on the wrist. And that happened with Karl Anthony Towns. He's not getting a good use. Free throw coming up for the Boston Celtics. They will stop it in with only 4:18 remaining. Say about Derek White, he's really noticing about the DW. I really noticing when the last time I saw him, this is a part of his early range that he makes it look good carrying.
Well, I know DeAndre Hunter. He's really like a special star. He might have it all. And this one might be the first thing for Derek White to change it off.
Now his part of it goal in his career, he made that one with his first play since 2017. the Buffalo played for his 3 years of college game with the University of Colorado from the Bills. And it was sure enough that the Buffaloes really showing off the white, and he made a great impressive drive. Indeed so. Every time it happens to Derek White, it makes it finishing when he makes it appearing like to others. It's for plenty that he made a change afterwards. Nothing really stands to shock. Fade for Cat. Back to Anunoby. Here's a set. Hart. Miguel Bridges for 3. The corner range, no good. Cat for the finish drive, and it's no good. Rebound by Brown. The Celtics are back in transaction. And Tatum slams into the middle. He is 3 for 3.
Oh, Jason Tatum, he's really like the finish on the flow. He wouldn't be like that until he got it done.
2-pointer for Bridges. That's good. They're tied again for 15. And he has 2 points in the game for Miguel Bridges. Jason Tatum looking it over. Finish drive. That was off the rim and rebounded by Josh Hart. He's over to Jalen Brunson with the finish. Tries perfectly right to the rim, and he gets the second bucket. 17-15. They're up for 2. 3-pointer for Holiday is no good. Rebounded by Josh Hart. And he's off to Brunson. Brunson with the ball. Bridges for 2. Another miss by New York. Porzingis with the rebound again to Brown. Brown in the middle. Slides back, finds Holiday. Holiday. Watch his skip. The pass to White. On Miguel Bridges. For the finish in a motion. Double dribble. Holiday for 2. No good. Towns with the rebound again over to Hart. This is really gets on. It's dangerous under his own. This opinion is not really to change what you really want to debate. And he's off to Bridges. Again over to Anunoby. Anunoby. Fades. Brunson for 3. That's good. Tricky 3-pointer for Brunson. He has 7. I didn't understand how Jalen Brunson made a 3, but this is really what they all changed to like to be. With a big 5-pointer. This effort for the Knicks is kept on strong. Timeout given by the Celtics with only 2 of 2 remaining.
I wouldn't say this would be change like happening. Boston Celtics really have just kept on the lead. And I wouldn't say this. They would win. They would never feel it. But this would happen all of a sudden. There is no change up if you really want to play good. And you have to do the run number.
Substitutions coming on the court for the Celtics and the Knicks. Luke Kornick's checked in. He's also with Sam Hauser. Al Horford right to a corner. And it's Pritchard from outside. For the Knicks, we have McBride. He's also with No Precious Achua. And it's Mitchell Robinson right to a wing. And as Jalen Brunson will keep the point guard position. 1:45 remaining. Off the mark for 3. And a triple, got it through. He makes a 3-pointer for 10. And Brunson will get the assist on it. Celtics trail by 8. Peyton Pritchard. Again to Hauser. With a stop, Hart. White. Slides it in. Stepping over and near baseline. Got a great D by Mitchell Robinson. And a rebound gives it over to Hart. Hart. Looking it over. Passing it to Brunson. Brunson. Toward the middle. Bumped him out, but can't get the bucket in. I thought the foul would have been on the New York Knicks. This didn't really make that one stopping in to go through. Hauser again to Horford. Horford up. No good. A rebound by Robinson. He'll swing it off to Hart. Hart gives it up. The middle broken up by White. White pass to Pritchard. The drive will drop in. White with the assist. It is a 23-17.
This is not going to make that slow things off. Celtics need to find a way to get through this one to make close one range out.
Brunson with the ball. Here's a set, and there'll be a reach and foul on Al Horford. with his first personal and his second team foul for Boston Celtics. No reach on the foul. They would not try to give the ball out to a huge start, but this didn't take effort. Robinson again to Brunson. 20 seconds remaining in the first. 8 to shoot. Here's Achuria. And he makes that one in over Al Horford. He has his first two-pointer in the game. As it's off again to Hart. Here's Cornette. Al Horford for 3. That will save the triple. Back down by 5. McBride with the ball. Watching the bus clock. McBride going for 3. And that one's off the rim. That's the end of the first quarter. Tight game, 25-20. We'll get ready for the second quarter when we get back after the break.
Tightness game. It won't stand out the shockness until everything gets down.
It's Big Showdown, Boston, New York. And if you're just tuning in for the second quarter, we've got the second quarter heading on your way in Boston. Big tightness game here. How about you guys? How the Knicks and the Celtics did?
This was very close. I mean, I was never seen like this until this happened. Looks like the Celtics may have some answers back, so they gotta try to find another one to get right back for it.
Same thing. I always agree on you there, Clover. If they don't get it down, it won't happen. Starting groups in the Celtics, you have it's Pritchard with Drew Holiday. Here's Horford right to center. Brown to small forward, and Jason Tatum in point power forward. Cameron Payne's on court, as he will be starting his second quarter. He'll swing it to Bridges. Bridges dribbles the move around Brown, rolls in and out. Jason Tatum with the rebound again to Brown. Brown watching his way over to Tatum. Tatum pass to Holiday. Holiday looks over to Tatum. 7:18 remaining in the first half of the game. Here's a set for Jason Tatum. Watching his way in. That'll drive. That'll be Jason Tatum with another two-pointer. He's tied up with Hart by 10. And this is where it gets tricky. If he gets a point over to Josh Hart, he'll get a lead off. Ball's loose. Rebound by Achuria. Anunoby outside to Gilmer again to Miguel Bridges. Bridges looks his way off to Anunoby. Anunoby. Give over. Achua for 3. Rebound by Robinson. Step for 2. Finding Anunoby. Anunoby. The fade. Again to Anunoby. Again, Achuria. Again to Mitchell Robinson. 3 for Anunoby. That's good. Make the deep 3. It's Anunoby's first 3 of the game. They take it back afterward with the three-pointer and missed. And Mitchell Robinson did it again. And then missed. And then he did it again for his third time. There's the 3 for Anunoby. That really stepped it up the corner. Reporter David Aldridge soaking it in with across from Jalen Brunson. He really has enough of the coolness that he's just been showing off. Back when he first played with the Dallas Mavericks, he wants to give that one a burn-off to give that one a good start. Now he's making his willing with the next team of the New York Knicks. He won't see how this will change up, but he will see how it gets.
Big change up. I've never seen how that will change into. The indefinite median wasn't a big change. He really showed off the right way. I know that it can be really hard and frustrating. Let's say this. When you do it for real, don't mess it up in time.
Payne finds Miguel Bridges. He gets to Anunoby. Ball almost loose out of his hands. Bridges. Mitchell Robinson. And he sets it over to Jeff to Payne. Payne over Pritchard. That will get a first two-pointer for Cameron Payne. That'll be his first 2 in the bucket with only 5 minutes remaining. Cameron Payne really got that one a tricky layup. He really did what he can. 3 for Pritchard. No good on the outside. Rebound by Robinson. And he's off to Achuria. Here's a set to Anunoby. Anunoby gets to Achuria for the drive. It's missed. Jason Tatum with the rebounding is a 30-26 game. Holiday right turn out the wing. And it'll be an offensive foul on Jason Tatum. The Celtics turns it over, and it'll be Knicks ball. Oh, that's not going to change up. New York Knicks seem to be happy enough, but the Celtics are not. New group substitutions are on the court. Mitchell Robinson's checked out. Karl Anthony Towns is checked in. And for the Celtics, they'll make new groups of the change. Back on court will be Jaylen Brown, and he's also along with Torian Craig. And Porzingis is checked back on the court. Bridges looks over to Towns with a step up. Oh, he got another two-pointer for Karl Anthony Towns. He has 6 in the game.
Well, tonight he only had 12, and he really had showing up tonight. He's just keeping it on bigger and bigger.
Brown to Pritchard for 3. That's good for the outside deep 3. It's a 32-29 game. Timeout. New York Knicks with 4:09 remaining. They don't really impress anybody, but it changes on with no tightness game afterwards. They're looking to tie the series in the game. New York Knicks never made it to the conference finals, as for many years that they were already been doubted up a notch. The Knicks never seen anything what they all showed it for, and with that, the New York Knicks really have made it all the way down, and they just didn't make the win over the Indiana Pacers by a rival matchup. Since they were definitely in the conference finals, they made their way in their 4th conference titles. But this division title, they made their way in to make that one, moving on to their next. They spotlighted the performances on the better effort, season-by-season record. They made their finish 3rd in Atlantic, and they lost in the first round with the Hawks of Atlanta. Now their history in the making for its own part of the game. This wasn't even the franchise in their own preseasonal record. It really has to make this all change out until this first and second round was a bit off target to change it off. I know what they have been through. They really have been trying to do everything. But no matter what they all do, they really have to give it off to the next person to get in for the Celtics. And for the Knicks, they really have to play it harder. Hart's checked in for the Knicks, and for Celtics making new changes on the offense and defense. Anunoby over Brown. That's good. Anunoby with another 2-pointer. He has 5.
I don't stand afterwards. OG Anunoby's making another 2-pointer crazy.
Craig up. They drive. Well, the first bucket, no good. Karl Anthony Towns will handle it over to Miguel Bridges. Here's the finish, and here he's fouled. That'll be Torian Craig's first personal foul. First team foul for Boston Celtics. Miguel Bridges wasn't standing afterward, and he making that drive easily. He really wouldn't want to stop that pace. He wants to try to knock that out. Next free throw's coming up here at the free throw line as Miguel Bridges is at the line shooting 2.
They won't sure enough to do for it because they just can't get enough on their own shot attempts.
The first free throw misses for Miguel Bridges. New line group change. Derek White checked in for Drew Holiday. And for some of our playoffs that they made it in, playoff series was definitely undertaken. And he wasn't really able to make this one good on their own history of their makes. By its rankings, it was necked, and they just didn't get their own strength in numbers. He makes the second free throw. That'll be 35-29 for New York. Here's White. Slides back. A set in, and a foul is on Pat. That's his second. First time Porzingis as you look at this season in the last 10 games.
First team foul. At the line for 2, Derek White.
He drops the first free throw. Now for the New York Knicks, they really have been making a season afterwards. By this one, he made it all the way to the season to get in by 2023. What happened was, they made it all the way down, and they were uneven to make that finish to make that one losing the conference semifinals by Miami Heat, because the underdog team knocked right in by 20-23. Yeah, they definitely did. I thought New York Knicks had enough of a cruel game on that Miami Heat, and they're extremely not happy at all. What I don't seem to worry is they really are coming back afterwards. Nobody is staring in the crowd, but they really can't play it like they did. They've got to watch themselves ahead of time. Bang! Around Pritchard, he's fouled. That'll be another foul on Boston. Pritchard gets his first personal. And it'll be their second team foul for Boston. 3:10 remaining in the second quarter.
What happened with that? It looks like he was racing on him and he just slapped him with a slap. What happened with Cameron Payne? He didn't like it.
Free throw on for Cameron Payne. He'll knocks down the first free throw. Now there's some other games here, as the other ones happened with the one in the first round. This was taking place back in 2013 playoffs. And this one was not really the easy way, but they really settled it in. What sometimes they did, they always did lose the conference finals by 2000 playoff season. And that was the last one that they had played for. They rematched it again. And since 24 years in the postseason, it was nothing. 25 years to have it in on their next stage. Well, this is really what they all expect now. They hate the Pacers. They didn't want anybody to make that out right around the way. And they just don't want to change it often. At the single digits, they get slammed afterwards here with Indiana Pacers. They wanted to try to make someone else trip. Miguel Bridges has it again to Payne. Payne. The pass of it on Anunoby. Anunoby. Fades. Here's Cat. Two-pointer. Get it to go for Karl-Anthony Towns. He has 8 in the game. Now 39-33.
They're really working it off. Valley again? I don't think so.
Brown setting a screen for KP. Outside. Karl-Anthony. Misses that one with the three-pointer opportunity. Right to Cat. The drive and reverse is no good for Karl-Anthony Towns. And White will have it here. Brown on the outside. Brown with the ball. 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Here's White. Three's no good. Rebounded by Karl-Anthony Towns. And Anunoby. Nobody around. No good. Rebounded by Hart. Again to Bridges. Bridges sends it over to Hart. Hart looking it off. Setting a screen for Anunoby. Short free throw. That's good for Josh Hart. He has 12 points. 1:33 remaining in the first half. Brown with the drop. Two-pointer. Misses again. Bridges gets to Hart. And he's over to Payne. Payne for the finish. That's good. Payne with 6 points. They're up by 10. And it's now a 43-33 game. Man, Cameron Payne was really on a strong start. New York Knicks wanted to battle it out. They can't get it off anywhere. White makes a drop. Timeout given by New York Knicks. 8 points makes it in for Boston Celtics.
They just won't get enough afterwards. If anything goes here, I would say that.
And with that being said, the halftime is getting there close. We have Ernie Johnson along with Kenny Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, as they'll be ready to take in time for the first half of the halftime show. That'll be next, underway soon once the first half comes to completion. Now with that being said, if you enjoy the NBA Finals, this might be it. If the Thunders win, they will crown their first NBA champion of the 2024-25 season. They may not be anybody's game, but it may be well that they could definitely win. And if the Pacers win, they finally win their first championship. Neither guys haven't won the first championships ever afterwards. Since many years ago, they won the finals as a Seattle Supersonics. On the other side was the ABA for the Indiana Pacers. Well, they definitely didn't think they were going to win afterward. It looks like neither guys never won in the finals. I would have been sure enough that Indiana would have want to win that one afterwards. By that, I mean, man, come on. Do you think I want to see this play again? I don't matter. They may have just changed it. They may have just have to get on to the next step. New substitutions on the court. Miguel Bridges checks out as McBride and Brunson are checked in. For the Celtics, Greg and Porzingis are checked out. Back on court will be Cornette as Porzingis moves over. Brunson on White. Step up two. And missed again. The rebound by Hauser. Hauser outside on Brunson. Here's a set. Drop for two. Trying to get it out of the way. Here's White. That's no good. Another two-pointer misses again for Boston Celtics. And here's Towns again to Brunson. Brunson finds again to McBride. McBride looks over. Here's Hart around Porzingis. He will drop it in. Tight contest shot as Hart makes 14 points in a game.
They really are on the better defense. I wouldn't say Cat just made a great pass by Hart. He really showed up the pace.
Brown finishing it off. The three is off the mark. That will end for the first half. 45-35. They're up by 10, and they're approaching the locker room. Let's head on over to David Aldridge on the court side. Who do you have with us? And we welcome you back here at TD Garden Arena. About to start the third quarter, and here we are. Let's see how they do with the second half of the game. Starting off in a group with the Boston Celtics. Brown's whip on Jason Tatum. Then it's Derek White, KP, and Drew Holiday right toward rim. For the Knicks, we have his Hart and Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, and it's Miguel Bridges and the cat of Karl Anthony Towns. After that three-pointer, what happened with Derek White, and he really gave it off to a great start. Didn't notice how that happens with the third quarter, off in timing. Brown switched to Anunoby for three. That one will sink in from outside. Backed out above by a 10-point game for OG Anunoby. Now it's Holiday. In the middle. The drive. He's fouled. That'll be Karl Anthony Towns with his first personal foul and their first team foul for New York.
Well, I would have said this is the lucky one. He almost had that block just clean, but he just did not get enough. It wasn't that clean until he did it.
Well, that's a big problem with afterward. Karl Anthony Towns blew up. Free throw coming up for Drew Holiday as he's at the free throw line shooting two. He'll take the first free throw in for Drew Holiday.
And with that last play, as you're looking at it afterwards, he almost would have had that rejection right out of the ball, right out of his hands, but he was caught with his finger, and he just went under his wrist. The referee knew that this was a common foul that would happen. You know, I thought this would have made the clean block for Karl Anthony Towns, but it seemed like he did not think that wasn't a clean block to get it out for the Knicks. It was kind of close afterward. I mean, I thought that was going to be making it in. Made that good call. So yeah, the officials say that this is a good call because happens with the blocking. It just went hard to get over.
Count the bucket of one for Karl Anthony Towns. How do you feel me now, Jason Tatum? I took it over. Oh my gosh. Cat is not going to stop here, and this foul was a dip-in. Unbelievable. Here, Knicks seem to be like impressing himself, and now the Knicks watch party is saying that, yep, Karl Anthony Towns is rocking and rolling tonight. One shot coming up for Karl Anthony Towns with under 7 minutes in the third. Free throw makes in for Cat. Boston trail by 11. And Holiday will slide it back. Holiday setting a screen by KP. And here's a settle. Toward the zone. The drive no good. Brunson gives over to Anunoby. Anunoby right toward wing. Miguel Bridges for three. It's good. Number dropping rain three for the Knicks. Miguel with 6 points. They won't stand afterward with Miguel Bridges that the three-pointer was just a light on tape. Another miss by Boston Celtics. They couldn't get another three-pointer back. Off to Brunson. Tatum watching it. Try to watch on Brunson that way. Three for Anunoby. That's missing. Rebounded up by Tatum. And here's Brown from outside. Gets the Holiday for a three. And it's mixed. Talking for David Aldridge saying that Joe Mazzulla really had to train up with the teams that they were really been up for a doubt and busted out. We were not really playing up there, guys. We need some hard trainings to get back into work. When you're going to play out there, you got to make sure you have it all settled in. Watch what you're playing you're looking for. Don't take anyone else if you want to make this one easier right to your line.
Yeah, they really had to do everything. Especially with Joe Mazzulla, you just need to get back into work.
Layup drive, good for Jason Tatum. It's a finished flow for JT.
Never seen like this. JT finished, drive is for real.
Here's Miguel Bridges, pass to Anunoby. Anunoby, passes to Hart. Hart, for the two. That's missed again. Rebounded by Towns. Here's Brunson for the three. Off the rim. And they'll let it go. This will be Boston ball. With only 4:47 remaining. And now with a new changeup coming on for the court for the Knicks and Celtics. Towns really made his all-star game. And he was in 4th place to finish it all. Yeah, it's really like how they would change it for Karl-Anthony Towns. He played for so many All-Star games, and for this finish, it was definitely for the East versus West. They're sure enough they would be happy enough to be here. They wouldn't change the matter of fact. Drive is no good. Jalen Brunson back the other way. He's off to Bridges. Again to Brunson. Brunson pass to Bridges. Over now to Hart. Hart trying to work its way off. Side to step. That two-pointer misses again for Josh Hart. And here's White. Finish flow. Drops it in. Timeout. New York Knicks with only 3:57 remaining in the third.
They're just really working out. Lucky day could be anybody. Just really know they wanted to make this one a great win.
And with this one, it is a 56-44 game. They won't get enough of that afterward with some big shutdown momentum. At least you say so. Well, I wouldn't be able to be playing with you with that if I were you. Don't take the chance afterward. With a line change here for the Knicks and the Celtics. Mitchell Robinson checked back on court. Jalen Brunson bringing Miles McBride, and on the other side, Precious Achiuwa. For the Celtics, we have all 5 players checked out, and all 5 players are checked in. Tatum moves over to small forward. For the drop, Kemp beat over Tatum as Bridges misses another one. Here's Tatum. 3 misses again. Let it go, and the timeout will be on the next, and out of bounds will be Knicks ball.
Well, it's not a timeout actually, but it's just went on the sideline. That's out of the way.
Here's the stats for Jason Tatum. His points was 26.8. He was in 5th place on the bottom. Well, he couldn't be playing it back afterward. I mean, Jason Tatum wanted to get right into the way. Maybe he gets a little time where it can be a lot challenging to give. There's McBride, sets the Bridges for 3. Triple's good! Monkel Bridges with 9 points in a game. Oh my gosh, Miguel. How would Miguel fly over? It's a flying 3. Pritchard, take over 3. Open range, no good. Brunson with the rebound again to McBride. McBride sets to Brunson. Brunson passes again to McBride. McBride looks off to Robinson. Robinson rolling it in. Passes to Bridges for 3. And it will be a loose ball foul. That will be a Chua with his first personal and her first team foul for New York. New group substitution as Sam Hauser checked in for Jason Tatum. Greg moves over. And now this will be Sam Hauser as Al Horford checked back on court. Holiday for 3. No good. A rebound by New York. Robinson again to Brunson. Brunson works his way, slides back, now finds McBride. McBride finds Brunson again to Bridges. Bridges for the finish. Great team by Luke Cornett. Pritchard back the other way to Holiday. Right around Bridges, and a foul will be on the Knicks. That will be Troy McBride with the first personal foul. And their first second team foul will be New York. They were stumping afterward. This drive can't be held. The better take. There are no change, but they would have to be doing it for at every cost. Man, Drew Holiday really has to be like shooting it everywhere. But he has to change for a notch. Free throw coming up for Drew Holiday with only 2:11 remaining. Holiday hits the first free throw.
They were really sure that they wanted to go right back in. Maybe that one may be a close game. But I mean, we could never know.
And he drops it down with another free throw for Holiday. Brunson passes over now to Robinson. Robinson over now to Brunson. Trying to give to Bridges. Only 2 minutes remaining in the third. Bridges for the finish. Oh, what a drive for Miguel Bridges. He scores another layup. That'll be 11 in the game.
You can definitely tell what Miguel Bridges is. He just makes a comfortable driving finish at the right time. He's really all over right now.
Al Horford slides back, drops it. Here's Hauser for 3, and he'll get it to good. Sam Hauser with the first 3-pointer after Al Horford with the assist. 1:25 remaining in the third. Brunson to find Robinson. And this one gets it in. Mitchell Robinson with the first 2-pointer, and Brunson with the assist.
This won't happen again. Robinson with the finish drive. He was on a great active effort.
Here's Cornett, trips up. Number 2-point missed opportunity for Boston. Jalen Brunson, 4 rebounds in this game, has it again to Robinson. Again to Bridges. Finds it to Brunson, now finds it over to McBride. McBride fades again to Brunson. Watching in. Brunson for 2. And that's good! Jalen Brunson with 9 points. 65-49. They're shutting him down in game 2. Knicks wants to go for the win in the third lead series. They won't stand a shot. Holiday with the ball. On Miles McBride. Here's Hauser again to Holiday. 20 seconds. 3 to shoot. Holiday up. No good. Rebound by McBride. McBride slows it down. Will give off to Bridges. 3 to shoot. 1 for shot. And that's off the board, and it's rebounded by the Celtics. 65-49 to score. We got 1 more quarter in play. Get ready for the last one. We'll be back with you soon in Boston Arena after these messages. You're watching the NBA playoffs on 2K Sports of the second round. and have a moment now to reveal the State Farm assist of the game.
I'm really glad at what happened with this last play. New York Knicks really are showing off. With this one, Brunson was making a good change off to Robinson. The missed drive, however, was a crazy shot he made. I was sure that Robinson was making a great finishing. This one makes a good effort.
This is really like the big comeback afterward. It won't change it unless they get it done. We are down to the final quarter. Finishing it off here will be the New York Knicks. Richards with Derek White. Porzingis is in center. Tatum in power forward. And Brown in small forward. Here's Anunoby. The try, foul, bucket one! Unbelievable for OG Anunoby. That's the finish of OG move with 10 points. If this won't make the start afterward, that's what happens with OG Anunoby. He makes that drive look impossible. I won't stand afterward if I were them.
And then they were always asking for that. I mean, this really kept them from playing back.
Free throw coming up for OG Anunoby. 67-49, it might be 1 point for again.
What's up?
And Anunoby will drop it in for one. 68-49. Brown. Dribble crossing. With the drive in. Great shot for Jaylen Brown. Number 2-pointer for the Celtics. They're trying to get back down in 68-51. Now Brunson will have some little floppy move set up. And a pass over to Anunoby. Here's a set for Anunoby again to McBride. Anunoby for three. And it's stripped up right crossing the 3-point possession ahead with a 14-point game for OG Anunoby. And the Knicks fans are just happy enough. Just listen to the watch party from outside. They are just raining crazy with some excitement afterward. They want to stop that one in there. Tatum for three. That's good. He just adds another 3-pointer. A 71-54 game. Jalen Brunson again to McBride. McBride. Brunson again and Anunoby. Anunoby finding McBride. Over White. He can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by Pritchard. Pritchard setting a screen by KP. In middle, unbelievable by KP. That one was a big slam down that he had it all. Jalen Brunson has it over to Hart. Brunson gives to Anunoby. And he'll make a switch up for Josh Hart. That's so good again by Jalen Brunson. Hey, Pritchard to Brown. Oh, what a slam again! OG Anunoby, as Brown has 9 points. Here down by 5 points by OG Anunoby.
You just won't have to listen to that. I just won't have to believe on them.
Hart for three. That's good. Number 3, cash and flow for the Knicks. Josh Hart's got 19 in a game. Perfect percentage for the 19-pointers. This drops in free for Josh Hart. Won't be the difficult range, but he will have to play it again. Great rebound by Karl Anthony Towns. Back to McBride. And McBride sits to Brunson. He'll set it over to Hart. Hart. Again to Brunson. On pass. McBride steps up for two. That one will get it in. McBride with 2 points. And he finally gets a 2-pointer. Jalen Brunson with the assist. Peyton Pritchard finding White. Looks his way in the center. No good. Rebound by Josh Hart. Hart with his 8th rebound of the game. He finds it over to Brunson. Brunson pass to Hart. Hart again over to McBride. McBride to Hart, finding Brunson. Brunson for the finish. Defense tight coverage here on KP. It's back to Brown. Brown swings to Tatum. Fades over to KP. That one stops in for the defensive effort by Cat. Karl-Anthony Towns with his 10th rebound of the night. Again to Anunoby. Anunoby finds Hart. 4 minutes remaining to Brunson. Brunson gives him a drive. Brown White drives good. He's got his second bucket of the game. After Brunson, it's a 78-58 as they're up by 20. They were smoking afterward. They were always wanting to finish that one in, and then with that, they can leave up the rest of it out. Timeout given by Boston Celtics. We're nearing down the 3-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Man, they were already been smoking it out. The Knicks may have a series to tie this up. They'll see how well they handle. And now it's time to see what the next change and New Balance player of the game. Josh Hart. Well, Josh Hart really had just made that one all career out. When he was making that one to float everybody out, he wants to lights out in game 2. He was really great. Just making the key look like harder in pacing. This timing is just how the effort pays off.
I know what they're saying. Josh Hart might be adding another postseason to his advantage, so hopefully if he can make this one again, this possible streak, we'll have it all on tape.
As for a new group substitution, we'll get it in for the quick look at offense and defense. Brown misses the 3 and rebounded by Towns. Towns will send it over to Brunson, and he's off to Hart. Hart passes off to Miguel Bridges. 3 for Brunson. And he does it again. Brunson with 12 points. And it's an 81-58 game. Brown with the ball, finding Tatum. Tatum toward a wing. Oh, he slammed it. Unbelievable. He won't show it out this crowd afterward. He'll have to feel it and rap out of it tomorrow. 3 deep for Hart. That one will get off the range, and it's rebound by Brown. Brown worked his way across to Tatum. Tatum finds Porzingis. Over Hart. That's good. He just makes it easier over Hart. Back to an 81-62 game. Well, they won't be like making a win afterward. They're always down and under. 19 points, it's like trailing behind. They're not really sure how this will carry in now. Bridges looks to Brunson, now finds again Anunoby. Anunoby pass to Brunson, up and in, blocked by KP. We got an answer here for the Celtics late in the fourth quarter.
Well, I wouldn't say for that. I mean, that's a big blocking at this percentage.
You missed the 3-pointer again. Down to 2 minutes in regulation.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Hart around Tatum. Great D effort for the Boston Celtics. Now Tatum has it over to Holiday. The back stepper. No good for Drew Holiday. As he has it over to Bridges, he'll give again to Jalen Brunson. Brunson. OG for 3. Yes, sir! Number 3 for the Knicks. And as the Celtics, they've been whipped and defeated.
Well, no words on that. I mean, they've always been like Denverizing, they were destroyed. And all what happened is, they just couldn't get going right afterwards. With that, we'll have to meet again for game 3.
After a slam by Jalen Brown, here's Anunoby. In change again to Hart. Hart finds again to Brunson. Brunson. Towns. Over KP. That's good. Karl-Anthony Towns with 13 points. They're down the final minute in the fourth quarter. And as Brown is on Anunoby. The screen by White. 3 for White. That will be dropping it in for a 3-point ball range for the Celtics. And with our next game underway, we've got the Thunders and the Nuggets. First game. That will be for the Nuggets and the Thunders at OKC. That'll be the first game underway, starting at 8:30 p.m. as they'll be ready to see how they handle with the match. It'll be next soon after this. Miguel Bridges will slam things off to finish it up. He has 13 in the game, and now with only 25 seconds, White will close it off. Well, it's been a bitter end, and with that, they won't be near it again. If they get a tie on the range for the series of 5, so they'll have to play it confidently at the right moment. They won't have to do it oftenly at the same time. And that will do it. Knicks shut down the Celtics as 88-69 is their final score, and they are now tied a series up 1-1. Well, it wasn't always the game afterward, and this was a big blowout.
Big knockout games can't always deny, but it's a big destroy how they did.
It's time to go courtside. We have David Aldridge with us, and he's on courtside. Dave?
Hey, thanks a lot, Carl. A lot of players got in on the action offensively. When you get it rolling as a team, how good can you be?
I mean, it's awesome, get a chance to keep the defense guessing. We did a great job of that tonight. We did a fabulous job. We let our defense be our offense tonight, and that's when we were at our best, that's what happens.
It certainly was great on the floor tonight, man. Congrats on the win. Back to you.
All right, David, thank you very much. And now, folks, that'll do for the game. And along my broadcast part with David Aldridge, I'm Terry Crews, and along with Clover and Silver Spoon, you've been watching the first part of the game of the NBA playoffs on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time for our next game. Have a good night in Boston, MA. All right, thanks, Terry. And with that finished game, this is the big shutdown for Game 2 as the Celtics and the Knicks are tied the series for 1. Here's how you did with the total statistics. 53-44 for the Knicks on the field goals with 52 on the three-pointers. The Celtics only made 100 free throws with 12-point fast breaks, and then it was points in the paint for 34. 7 second chance points with 14 bench points and 28 assists with 9 offensive rebounds. 30 defensive rebounds in the game. 1 steal, 1 block. They're both tied even with 1 and 2 points off. Then it was 14 fouls for New York Knicks. 6 dunks for Boston Celtics. 23 biggest lead for New York Knicks with only 18:09 time of possession. They just couldn't get it done afterward there, Boomer. Yeah, it's just really like how it just get bangs down. And boy, this diced that one up here very quickly. Indeed so. Now let's have your take for 3-star players of the game. Alright, thank you very much. 3-star players of the game has started right now. The 3rd-star player, as we are heading our way in, we've got the great start in for the Jacket. Starting with OG Anunoby with 17 points in the game with only 1 rebound and 5 assists. 6 out of 8 field goals was made in for the range. Then it was 4 out of 6 3-pointers, but they were making it look easier and fair. 30 for performance effort was a big finish. The 2nd-star player of the game goes to Derek White. He had finished off with 18 points with 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 1 steal. 6 out of 12 field goals with only 2 out of 3 3-pointers, and it was only 23 performance effort. That was only his day. When he makes that finish look easier, it's nothing to get away with that. And the 1st-star player of the game is Josh White. 19 points with 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 8 out of 12 field goals with 3 out of 4 3-pointers, and it was 25 performance effort. That's what happens with Josh Hart. He gets a lot trickier to get it in. Well, folks, that's going to do for the first game. If you're waiting on for the next game with the Thunders and the Nuggets, get ready for their first game, because that will be happening here at OKC at the Paycon Center. That first game will be coming up later tonight here at 8:30. Don't miss your next games out on Sun and Peace. Well, along with my broadcast partner, along with Boomer and others, I'm MePhone11, and hope you enjoyed it. See you folks next time for as a while as the NBA playoffs on 2K Sports Style. And we all say so long and good night in Boston, Massachusetts. Pre-game show for the second game will be coming up shortly after these messages.
If you don't, somebody will.